We are the ripple effect. What we do, what we don't do, what we think, what we express, how we act and behave in the world has an impact on every single thing along this web of life. And today's journey into our bodies and through this class is to help us connect us to our place on the web of life. We are all, each one of you, myself, everything you see outside your window, the elements, the creatures, the animate objects, we are all part of a universal energy or source or flow that is happening. We are all interconnected. And so today is really about understanding how our small little part in being in this world of doing our work on ourselves can and does make an impact on the whole, and that the universal spirit celebrates, the universal spirit within each one of us will celebrate with joy, with peace, with bliss, when we carry ourselves in the world, knowing that our little actions, our small words, our moments of healing are affecting the world in a positive way. So today we weave our own bodies, our own stories, our own lives into the enormous fabric that makes up nature, ecology, and all things everywhere. I want to start in a comfortable seated posture. And you can also sit up against a wall or on a cushion if you need to take extra care of yourself today. We'll have a brief acu session, and that's to bring in the elements of opening our hearts, minds, and lungs to this vital breath that we're all breathing. And then anchoring us into the Yamas and Niyamas, the moral principles of yoga. And then seeing how we can weave that through our very gentle, easy, free-flowing practice today. We're just going to nourish and nurture. So we're going to begin by taking in some deep, full breaths and anchoring Ahimsa, which is non-harm, non-violence. By doing no harm, first here at home with ourselves, then we begin to deepen this interconnection and this relationship that we have with all that we interact with. We'll begin with the LU1 point, and this is lung 1. If you cross your hands over your chest, place your middle fingers right around the small indentation on the inside of your arm, upper chest. And you can kind of like feel around there. What you'll feel is just above like that armpit crease and just slightly in, there's a small indentation that's called lung 1. And as we cross our hands over our heart and gently press into that LU1 point, we'll feel the breath as it moves up into our chest, filling our lungs completely. And as we exhale, we feel ourselves anchor in the present moment with our attention. We understand that we are flawed, that we are working on ourselves, and that's in progress. That we'll have good days and we'll have bad days. We'll have days where we feel very clear, and we have days where we stumble. And we'll have days where our wounds arise and we don't know why, and we're having feelings all over the place. And we'll have days where we feel on top of the world, where everything is just smooth as silk. By tuning into our breath, we meet ourselves as we are, where we are in this moment. I'm not for it, I'm not against it. I am with it. With nothing to do, nothing to change or fix, I embrace my life today and all the breaths I've taken up until this point in time with absolute love and acceptance, so that as I breathe forward and forth with each new breath, each new moment, I continue to clear what once was. And I open to this intention I carry of nonviolence, of peacefulness. And in these moments, we take deep breaths, we acknowledge that we're sorry for any previous wrongs. We ask for our own forgiveness. We know that forgiveness is imminent, and therefore we feel gratitude. Thank you. And we come into a place of self-love, saying to ourselves, I love you. And we let love and peace and forgiveness and hope fill every cell of the body through our breath. We inhale love and we give that love out through our exhale. We'll do that 2 more times. This time, let's inhale in peace through every cell and exhale peace back out into the world. And we inhale forgiveness and we exhale out forgiveness. And slowly begin to release your hands. Let's take our legs and just shift them so the other leg is in front or on top. So change the crossing of your legs. Coming into CV17. So this is conception vessel point. It's at the center of our chest. We'll sort of find where the breastbone ends. Usually right about center, there's a indentation center between your 2 breasts. You'll feel for that little indentation there. Okay, so you can play, like you'll see where your rib cage meets, and just above that area where your rib cage meets at the very base of your breastbone is usually where you feel CV17, conception vessel 17. So you're gonna, again, close your eyes. And as we do, take deep breaths, slow and easy. You're gonna allow your shoulders to drop. Straighten your spine. And allow yourself to even more deeply meet at this present moment. Releasing any negative thoughts we carry. Bringing in the sense of a warm hug. Arms around this present moment, arms in a way supporting our own heart. Releasing any pressure we feel inside, softening all muscles of the face, cheeks, jaw, and throat. Feeling the earth beneath the seat and the softening of the belly. And our attention as we hold and breathe deeply is to release any muscular tension we've been carrying in this beautiful body of ours. We seek to transform any negative emotions or traumatic experiences that we're carrying within us. Nourishing ourselves with awareness and with this desire to create a healthier, happier life. And release your hand from there. Pause. Let your hands just rest on your lap for a moment. And begin to blink open your eyes. Those are two really amazing go-to acupressure points that we can use at any time, any day. So we'll come to our mats. I want you to sit with your feet out in front of you, knees bent. Feet on the floor planted, hands just underneath the knees. And you can kind of be right at the center of your mat or slightly towards the front of your mat. So like you kind of can bring your toes more towards the front edge of your mat. So the first thing we'll do is we'll engage and release and stimulate stomach 36. So this point, stomach 36, is on the outside edge of your knee. And you kind of feel as you go down the knee towards the calf, there's a bony point. Just under that bony point is a little indentation. And that's stomach 36. And you might even feel there's a little tendinous sort of tissue right there. So we're pointing and we're pressing into that and rubbing. You can actually even rub with soft fists and your knuckles into that stomach 36 point. Okay, so go ahead and rub the stomach 36 point. We'll rub it for about a minute. So you want to rub it firmly but lovingly. Okay, so we're getting that stomach 36 point to wake up, and we do it briskly. Outsides of the shin bones, below the knees. It's a key point for heightening body awareness, emotional stamina, and it gives us inner strength. If there's any stuck energy in the body, this helps us begin to loosen up any stuck energy in the body. It also brings attention to helping us release the past and coming into the present moment. Keep going, you guys got this. So if ever you're having like a little emotional breakthrough, this can be a really great point to stimulate. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh, I'm already feeling, my tummy's already feeling better. It's a miracle. All right, back to our rocking action. We're gonna come with the hands under the knees and begin just arching and curling here. So inhale, bring the chin up, chest through, shoulders down and back, arching spine. Exhale, keep the feet pressing, connect it. Round the spine, tuck the chin. Good, curl the tailbone under. Inhale, lift. So elongate your breaths and really emphasize this arch and curl of your spine. Enjoy your full range of motion. So when you inhale, come up as high as you can on your sitting bones, elongate, extend, and then exhale, round the spine, hug the navel back, pull the pelvic floor in, round and tuck, and really press out for your back ribs, shoulder blades. Let's give it about 3 or 4 more rounds. Inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhale to round and curl. Inhale, fill up. And exhale, let's lay all the way back, pulling the knees into the chest. So as you lay back, just rock a little from side to side. Draw circles with your knees. And let's talk about Satya, or truthfulness, just for a moment. So one of the ways that's maybe a little harder pill to swallow is to become aware of the things we tell ourselves and ask ourselves how true it is for us. Satya is commitment to honesty. So being honest with yourself. We need to be honest with how we impact the world in ways that we can change, ways that we can adjust so that we can have a softer footprint on the planet. Take the arms out at heart level. Open your arms out as wide as you can. Spread your fingers and allow yourself to just feel the knees hovering above the belly and your back against the earth. See how the earth nourishes and supports you. And let your knees now glide over to the right. Keep them floating for a moment. Hug the knees in pretty tight up towards that right arm to get a full twist. And then once your knees and legs land to stack, let your feet relax. Turn your head to the left. Close your eyes. And see if you can come to that internal awareness. First of the physical body, the shape you're in, and the physical feeling of the body rising and falling with your breath. A nice massage for the internal organs, a nice rotation for the spine. Use your mind to scan, find where you feel the tightness and the tension, and direct your breath there. The mind is so powerful. Let's use our mind's power to benefit not just the greatest good for this body, but the greatest good for all life everywhere. And use your inhalation to bring the knees back up to center. Draw the knees back in towards the chest and kind of give a little circle in both directions here, feeling how the sacrum bone begins to loosen against the earth. And let's repeat on the other side now. Let the knees fall over to the right, left, and looking over our right arm. So once those knees come down, there's always this chance you might need to shift. If your knees are too high up for you, you won't feel like you can relax full shoulders into the earth. You might feel a little too much twisting action. So you can always bring your knees a little further away. The deeper you go, the tighter you bring your knees up to your arm, yet we still want to feel that earth support underneath us. So give your weight to the earth. You can always apply a little gentle pressure with your left hand in this case. You can also stretch straight your top leg, reaching to grab your foot. So that'll give you a little bit more twist if that's what you need. So again, drop into the earth. Try not to hold the pose, rather surrender to it. And then let the breath occupy all little nooks and crannies within the posture. Notice if your face muscles are relaxed, your throat. Notice how the back of the body feels. Notice how your tummy, your stomach, your belly, your trunk feels. Take another breath to oxygenate consciously all your parts and pieces. And then just soften, be here for just a couple more moments. Letting the shape be the medicine right now. Soft, even rise and fall of the breath. And with your inhalation, bring the knees back up to center, hugging the knees in. So how can we do less harm? That's a good question for us. How can we make a softer footprint in the world and do our part? So there are 3 ways, and yoga gives it to us in 3 of our yamas: Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. So we'll talk about those as we move through the next posture. So take your left foot down on the floor, knee bent. Keep your right knee drawn in nice and tight. Give yourself just a compression, like press the shin bone with your 2 hands interclasped straight down towards your belly. Let your thigh come in strongly towards your right side. And take a few breaths here with that compression, pressing down. Softening the jaw, softening the arms and shoulder joints. Using the arms to press. Feeling that little breath moving underneath your leg. Continue to keep that compression on the right side. Extend the left leg straight out along the floor and see if you can bring some real reach through the sole of your left foot, elongating knee to sole of your foot. Yes, if you want, you can even fan the toes on both feet, spreading them out, flexing the feet back. Good. Take a nice long inhale. And as you exhale, pull the navel back, peel the head and shoulder blades off the ground. Squeeze your nose to your knee. Hold. And then see if you can do this with no hands, just reaching forward. You can give it a little pump if you'd like, but keep that belly pulled in and pelvic floor drawn back. Good. So we're staying with this. We learn to live with what we have, and not just to live with it, to enjoy it. Good. And release, lay back. And then send the right leg up straight and replace that left foot on the floor, knee bent. Point and flex your right foot a couple times, and then circle at your ankle a couple times. Good. Slide the hands up the back of the right leg. You can go as high as your ankle or foot. You can just hang out at your calf. So what we really want to do is make sure right leg stays straight, left hip stays anchored. And so if that means when we bring our leg in, our hips want to raise up, let's bring our hips back down to the floor and really descend that right femur bone into its socket. So let it be heavy so you feel the back of the hamstring leg open. Perfect. Now, let your foot just stay in neutral. Keep the left foot connected. Get all the feels there. Now start to walk your hands higher up your leg as you lift your trunk up off the floor. So you're gonna, again, peel your head and shoulders away, reach and climb up your leg, and then see if you can bring it in a little closer to you, keeping your hips down. That's the tricky part. Pull your belly button back, press your low back down, and then when you lay back, see if you can bring your leg with you as you lay back. Do the best you can, and then release. Good. Plant both feet on the ground. Pause. Place your hands on your belly. Just notice the difference you feel from the right side to the left. Nice. And let's go to the left side now. Do the same forms. Clasp the hands. Interlock them across the front of your left shin. Compress the left thigh towards your trunk. You're going to push down and in. So using your arm muscles for support. Right foot stays planted, right knee is bent so you can stay level on your mat. Give yourself a few easy breaths here. Keeping that compression. Press, press, press. You're feeling the hip flexor deepen. You might need to even pull your belly button back so you can let that happen more fully on the inside. So deep innermost breaths. Start to slide that right leg out along the floor, keeping the compression. Peel the toes back and fan them out on both feet. Really reach to the sole of your right foot as you pull your left knee in tight. Take a nice long breath in Make it full, fill up the lungs. Exhale, head, shoulders, nose to knees, squeeze, hold. Little sips of breath here. So even though that word Asteya means non-stealing, what it really means is we learn to count the blessings. We learn to see what we have and work with what we have, not needing anything other or more. No hands, let's reach. Reach and pump. We're working the belly muscles, working the pelvic floor muscle, lifting those bandhas up. Keep the pumping going. This is really, really helping to bring all of this fresh blood, oxygen to the core of the body. 3, 2, 1. Lay back, pull the leg in. Replace the right foot on the floor, knee bent. Take the left leg straight up to the sky. Good. Point and flex a couple times. Circle at your ankle a couple times. So when we go slow, when we slow ourselves down, when we pay attention, we'll notice more. And one of the things that I love about island life here in Hawaii in general, but really in Hawaii, is that everybody's about slowing down. And in fact, one of our little sayings is, try slow. So it's really cool to go from living a California life, 2 years ago for most of my life, and then come here and have to learn to unwind all this highly scheduled go, go, go life. And it actually begins to bring the truth to the front, to bring how much we harm ourselves to the front, and how much you're always striving for something and not focusing on the beauty of what is in this moment. Take a breath into that. And then let's climb up the leg. Let's see if we can peel the shoulders up. Let's see how much of our back we can get up off the ground. Keep that left femur bone down. Squeeze the belly in, pull the leg in, pause, feeling that. Belly button back, pelvic floor in, move on, Uddiyana Bandha. And then when you're ready on your next exhale, lay back. Ooh, and take your leg with you if you can. Keep that hamstring opening safely. And then release. Good. Soles of the feet on the floor, knees bent. Hands back to that hara line between your two hips, just under your navel. And again, close your eyes, just park your energy. Now, not even try slow, just stop. Underneath your hands, you'll feel the gentle rise and fall of your breath in your belly. We're tapping into deep sources of healing that is already available to us, that is already within us. We're just sort of sloughing off whatever's in the way of our being with it all. And in fact, Brahmacharya teaches us to conserve our vital energy, that there's no need to waste our energy, that we can still be fit and strong and not have to force ourselves into doing things that would compromise the future of our body's health and wellness. So we start to feel inside what supports my conservation of energy. What nourishes? What can I actually pull back on? And then from here, let's bring the heels close into our backside. So you're gonna walk the feet in, so you almost feel your heels like in your booty connect. Still though, what's more important is that your knees and your ankles are aligned. So if you bring your feet in so close that you feel like your knees will be going over your ankles, just give a little space there. Coming into bridge pose, but extra slow. So more importantly, we're gonna use our feet. So start with your feet, push down through your feet. And as you push down through your feet, push down, but also away from you. So you'll feel like the pose automatically come onto your upper back. And just come up about half the distance as you normally would with bridge. Imagine you have a little block between your two thighs. So you're keeping your thighs parallel and kind of moving in slightly. So you're engaging the inner groin. Now take your upper arm and elbows and press them down into the floor and start to draw your shoulder blades in towards one another. You can keep your palms facing, or if it feels good to you, clasp your hands underneath your body and interlock your fingers. As long as that feels safe for your neck, you want to press the back of your head down so you feel your chest expand. Your chin and your chest are moving towards each other, but we're not purposely pushing our chest to the chin. You actually want to keep the head fairly neutral. Soften your jaw and brow. Press a little more through your legs now. Keep that connection to the inner groin, squeezing into the midline of your body. Good, and let's stay here for about 2 or 3 more breaths. Lots of power in the legs. See if you can get in a couple deep Ujjayi breaths. See how that little constriction in the back of the throat can still work even with a little bit of throat lock, bandha, happening naturally in this bridge. Good, and then when you feel ready to come down, your exhale will first just change your shoulders. So unlock your hands, untuck your shoulders. Place those upper arms back into the floor, palms facing one another up near your hips. And then when you roll down, you're rolling down from the top of your spine to the base. So go slow and systematically take the spine from the cervical to the thoracic to the lumbar, and then finally letting the sacrum land and the tailbone soften. From there, soles of the feet will come together. Knees will open out. Hands and arms come above your head in a diamond shape. You can even go for the triple diamond, making a diamond shape with your hands as well. So we got the feet together, knees open, the hands together, elbows open and bent for a triple diamond pose, resting. Once again, close your eyes and ride the waves of your breath through your body. See if you can let the back of your body melt a little bit more. See if you can let all the muscles of your face become even softer, unwinding the deeper tensions from days ago, letting it all sort of unravel and unwind out of you. Use your next couple breaths to really let go. Maybe that means a soft sigh. Maybe that means a little moan, groan, growl, or anything else that may get stuck in your throat or in your body that needs to go. And so with our next breath, we'll bring our feet back to plant, knees bent. We'll draw our knees in above our belly, hugging our legs with our arms. If you'd like, you can do a full tuck. And then taking some rocks on your mat. So rocking forward and back, massaging out your spine. So as you get more comfortable here, you can take your hands underneath the backs of your knees. Swing your legs like you're on a swing at the park. Swing the legs overhead towards plow. Swing your legs forward and see if you can catch yourself in the Navasana, boat pose. And do it a couple more times. So all that core work we just did, all that connection to the center of our being, helps us get right on that strand, that thread that we are in the great woven cloth of life, or in the great web of life. This is our little electrical strand, is our spine. The spine connects us to the earth below, the sky above. And then our limbs connect us further beyond. See if you can find yourself now in Navasana. And if you'd like, you can grab your big toes with your index and middle finger. Let this be fun. So index and middle finger, yogi grab. You can just start with your feet floating off the ground, knees bent. Spine nice and tall, shoulders relaxed, heart open. And then play. Maybe one leg goes straight and kind of out to the side. And just find where your balance rests there. Bring it back up. Changing sides. Take the left foot out to the side. Maybe let it fall open a little wider. And then bring it back up. Maybe both legs can come up together. Maybe both legs go wide together. See if you can pull back on your belly. Find your balance in between. Keeping your heart raised, your shoulders down, away from your ears. Collarbones broad, maybe a little floating happy baby. Take another breath. Wherever you are now, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees point out again, but this time bring your heels in a little closer to your groin. Let's clasp the hands around the feet and just pull up on the feet, stretching the ankles. Good, and now let the feet relax. Take the hands to the inside arches of your feet and give yourself a little massage. Massage the arches of your feet. Massage the balls of your feet, tops of your feet, all those lines of connective tissue that connect each of your toes to your foot. A little bit on the heels, a little bit on the ankles. And then saying hello to each of your toes. Giving them a squeeze, and each of the toenails, giving them a squeeze. And then start to open your feet out like a book, okay? From here, this is our external rotation, right? From here, lift the heart, sit up tall. And when you're ready, you can begin to come forward. And you can soften your feet as you come forward. You can walk your hands out in front. You can bring a block out so you can rest your forehead down. Or you can just hang here, opening into the groins a little bit more. This particular version of Baddha Konasana helps us not only open the outer hip juncture, but may also help to unlock and unravel any tension you have in the backs of your knees and in your hamstrings that may be related to your knee joint. So we're just being vigilant with our TLC, tender loving care, non-harm, Ahimsa, Satya, truthfulness, Brahmacharya, wasting no energy, counting our blessings, Asteya, and finally, Aparigraha, which actually means non-grasping. So here, if you can, be aware of how much you need. How much you need and what you already have. And not for the purpose of accumulation, but the purpose of freedom. So give it one more breath here. And then slowly walk it back up. Send the legs straight out together in front of you. So massage the back of your knees. That soft spot, back of the knees. And then see if you can massage a little further up the sides of your legs, kind of where your IT band and your knee meet. And then keep going, massaging firmly up those outer lines of the legs. And you can like kind of do that by grabbing the thighs and massaging up the sides of the thighs. And I'm going up and down a couple times just to stimulate those channels of energy. I got just a little forward bend going here if you'd like to join me, or if you also would rather, one of the ways you can do a very nourishing forward bend, especially if your hamstrings are tight, is to take a bolster or a pillow underneath your knees so your knees are bent, and then coming forward from here. So this allows you to hinge more fully through your body. And it's always nice to bend your knees enough so you can rest your belly on your thighs or right in between, and then slowly spill over from there. So your favorite version of Paschimottanasana, and if you haven't found a favorite version, hopefully today you will. Full forward stretch, also known as east stretch. We're stretching the whole entire back of the body, from the Achilles tendon at your heel, all the way up your calves, up through the backs of your knees, all the way up your gluteal muscles, into your quadratus lumborum, your low back muscles, and all the way through your spine. If you can bow in, bringing your head down towards your legs, and relax your shoulders. We got about a minute here. Listen and feel for the belly breathing. Bringing the breath down into the bowl of your pelvis, into and through your low back, your sacrum, all the way into the deeper muscles of the pelvis, like the piriformis. Our oneness is our practice. The universal spirit, or the energies of life, as we breathe, healing and rippling, not just through our own life, but through all lives everywhere, weaving nature and ecology into how we live in collaboration with all of our resources, including our food, our water, which becomes us, the things we consume and buy, and the footprint those things are on the planet. Let's inhale, lift the heart, lift the head, take the arms all the way up overhead, reach, flex your feet, interlock your hands, clasp your hands together, but push them away from you and reach them to the sky. Stretch up, get the side ribs, side body open, and then give yourself a little side bend to the right, and inhale, center, side bend to the left, and inhale, center. I just totally did that backwards, and do it again, at least once or twice on each side. Peeling up away from the hips and pelvis on your inhale, and feeling that nice arc on the side body as you exhale. Oh, let it feel good. That is why we're here. Inhale up, exhale, create a big rainbow of energy over your head as you release your hands to the earth. Good. So you have a couple options for sitting now. You can go back to your easy sitting pose, Sukhasana, with your legs crossed and open. Or you can take a block and place it under your booty to give your hips a little bit more elevation. You also have the opportunity to sit in Virasana or Vajrasana. That's with your feet on either side. You can use a block underneath you for this or not. So any kind of seat will do as long as you feel comfortable and can hang here for a few moments. All right, so kind of like this one best. All right, we're coming back into some acupressure points. This time we're going to do some neck and throat releasing, and we're going to use K27. So first you're going to use one hand to knead and squeeze the neck muscles. So all around your neck, side of your neck, back of your neck, base of the skull, all the way to the tops of the shoulders. And I like to move my head around as I'm working. So just massaging the neck. You can use one or both hands. And now one hand should feel kind of like as your dominant massager, and the other hand will be your the one that's going to hold your acupressure points. I'm going to use my dominant hand, my right hand, to do my massaging. I'm going to use my left hand to hold the K point, kidney 27. So kidney 27 is find your collarbones, right? And find like that little point where the collarbones meet. And then underneath those collarbones and those indentations, right near and under your collarbones. Okay, so we're gonna press that kidney 27 point as we massage. And I want you to breathe deeply into your heart and just let yourself be calmed with your own presence. You know, and it costs what, 60 bucks these days, maybe even more, to go get a massage. And most of the time, the accumulations we have can be removed through our yoga practice and through the self-massage. So I want you to, you know, hold the point, but also continue to look with your hands and look within to find where your tensions, where you're carrying your tensions in your neck and shoulders. So typically, this is the area where most of us receive the most benefit from getting a massage, right? Because this is where we may carry a lot of our tension, neck and shoulders. So just keep working the neck. Let go of any emotions or feelings that you have that just are not supporting a feeling of removing and releasing and letting go. So the idea here is just clearing anything that's there that's ready to clear. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to clear everything. Yeah, just whatever's ready to go. Breathing in deep into your chest and heart. So this is about Aparigraha. So Aparigraha is non-grasping. You know, the body naturally accumulates stuff, just like we accumulate things out in the world. So this is just teaching us to become free of the negative patterning that we have accumulated in our bodies and our minds and our hearts, and giving ourselves permission to let the past go. And that hopefully means that we've acknowledged whatever learning lessons we have from the things that hold us, so that we've learned the lesson and can move forward. And oftentimes, you know, for me, what I find is my old patterns of, you know, continuing to be goal-oriented. And that's why my tensions continue to be accumulated in my neck and shoulders. I have a hard time sometimes just pulling away from my to-do list. And that's also how I hold and carry stuff. So I accumulate tasks and accomplishments. What are you holding on and carrying today? And let's see if we can just bring acknowledgement and love to whatever those patterns are that we've contributed our energy to that may no longer serve us, and that we can actually release. At least use our intention to release. You know, we definitely cannot always be perfect, but we can start now, and we can make steps. We can make real life changes that support our Mother Earth, that sustain all the inhabitants of life, including ourselves. And what I like to say is it's all for the greatest good of my own and everyone's life everywhere. So when I make those decisions, it affects the whole, affects the web of life. All right, let's release now. Shake out your hands. Shake out your wrists, take your arms out straight in front of you, and then start to raise them up. You can let your elbows be a little bent. Shake it out real good, like two little birdies flying overhead. Go crazy. On the count of 3, we will just reach into space. Keep those birdies flying. I'm really flapping my hands and wrists around. Breathe in, breathe out. 1, 2, 3, and reach. That's all that circulation of energy, the tingles, move through the hands, fingers, arms, wrists, forearms, elbows, maybe even up into the blood pooling in our armpits and our shoulders. Start to let the arms slowly lower down. And again, let them float back to our lap. This time, turn the palms up. You can do a little gentle mudra here, resting your left hand in your right and connecting your 2 thumbs together, and then placing that right at your navel center. Pause, and we'll just be here for about 30 to 40 seconds. Easy breathing. How we have nourished ourselves just in this first hour of class today. How we have loosened our energy, balancing our right and left hemispheres of the brain, honoring all the deeper internal organs and channels, which energy flows through them, through blood, through nerve, through lymph, and various other fluids of the body. Awakening, reinvigorating. Relax your arms and hands, release your mudra. We'll come into squat pose, malasana. So bringing your feet on the ground, knees bent, moving anything out of the way you need to move. You can even put something if you need under your heels. Taking malasana, palms of your hands together in Anjali Mudra, the mudra of prayer and reverence. Take your thumbs and press them right into the sternum. Give that sternum a little rub, a little massage, activating the thymus gland. Point, if you want, you can do a couple little thumps there. Good. Pause and breathe, lengthening the spine. Sitting heavily into your heels, if possible. Notice how when we go into these hip opening poses, how the jaw also is involved. See if you can simultaneously, as you release your pelvic floor and hips, to simultaneously release the lower jaw, the mandible, and all the muscles like the masseter muscle around the jaw, releasing. And bring your fingertips down to the floor and gaze up, opening the chest, arching the spine gently. Exhale, fold forward. We're going to straighten the legs and kind of pulse the forehead towards the shins. As you do so, the movement becomes inhale, squat to lift. Exhale, pulse to fold. Inhale, squat to lift. Exhale, pulse to fold. And if you want to do these even faster, you can feel free. You can stay on your tippy toes. And if you don't want to bend into that deeper squat, you can just do mini versions, bending and straightening with your fingertips on the ground in front of your toes. So engaging that first and second center, the roots, and also the entire pelvic floor, pelvic region, pelvic bowl. So if you can get in a couple more, we just move towards about 20 reps. And you'll feel those quads waking up in strength. And then let's come into full forward fold, taking the feet as wide as your mat. So edges of your feet right up against the edges of your mat. Grab your elbows and then dangle. So become heavy. Let your head and neck decompress. You need to keep your knees soft, do so. And then just sway from here, side to side. And then sway in the shoulders and arms. And let your brain drain. Relax your arms now, releasing your elbows. Bend the knees a lot and slowly pulling into your belly. Start to roll up. Bring your hands just above your knees on your thighs and take a little sumo squat. So you're kind of bending your knees and coming up about halfway. I'm going to move back so you guys can see me a little better. So here, okay? So I got my hands just above my knees. We're going to do some Uddiyana Bandha work, some Nauli, stomach churning. So this is going to help us do what I feel is important with cleansing our, I'm going to pin my video real quick. This is going to help us with cleansing out anything that is in our bellies that might feel stuck. So now we're working into the Niyamas Saucha. Saucha is purity or cleanliness. It's the inner environment that we want to clean so that reflects our outer environment. And it's the same in the world, same thing. So from this squat position, you're kind of in a part chair pose, part sumo feel. So the movement is, we want to first inhale all the way and let the belly drop and fill. As you exhale, you're going to start to round your back a little bit, drawing the pelvic floor in and connecting. As you press down into your knees, you do a little cow or a cat stretch. As you keep your breath held out, holding your breath out, you're going to pull up into your belly and hold the belly in as you lengthen back your spine. And that's going to create a little vacuum effect in your belly. I'm going to come up and show you a little closer so you guys can see what's happening. So I'm here, I'm letting the belly drop. Okay, let the belly drop. And then on your inhale, you're going to let the belly fill up. And as you exhale, you're going to draw the belly back and you're rounding the spine. See how my belly really pulled in? And then from here, I'm going to keep the breath held out, and then I'm going to hollow it out. Before I inhale, I want to release my breath, okay? So don't try, you want to release your hold of your belly and of your bandhas before you breathe back in. So let's just talk about this real quick. Oftentimes, because we're used to like diving in the ocean or going in a pool and we hold our breath, it's much easier for us to hold our breath in rather than hold our breath out. So this particular technique of Nauli is about holding our breath out and getting our deepest Uddiyana Bandha that we can get in our belly. And then once we get that Uddiyana Bandha, we do what's called Nauli, or stomach shaking or stomach churning. So I'll show you what that looks like, but let's do maybe 2 more rounds of just getting that real deep Uddiyana Bandha going, okay? So let's do this together. So I'm gonna relax my belly, let myself breathe in. As I exhale, I'm gonna pull my belly in. I'm gonna start to already be feeling that belly drawing in. And I'm gonna round my back a little. Hold the breath out. hollowing it back. Relax your belly and then return to your breath. If you need to stand up and shake out at any point, do it. And then let's try it one more time, and then I'll show you the stomach churning. I knew I needed to do this for healing my own belly today. It's been feeling so tight and so locked up, so this is really helping me. I hope you're enjoying it. So take another deep breath in. Let the belly relax. Exhale, pull the belly back and round the spine. Good, and then from here, holding the breath out, hollow it out. Watch what I do with my spine. So I relax my belly before I breathe in. All right, so before we move on, any questions? Anything you want me to clarify? Is everyone having an okay time at least getting that deep kind of suction feeling, that vacuum feeling in the belly? Okay, good. So let me show you this next phase, which is doing the stomach flicking or churning. So you do your Uddiyana Bandha just as we did with the holding the breath out. Okay, so you're just kind of pushing and pulling and pushing and pulling and getting the belly to move now, even while you're holding your breath. This is strengthening your whole alimentary canal from your mouth all the way to your bum, that whole canal through it. So you're going to feel maybe some other sensations here or maybe even in your throat that are going to be activated through this practice, okay? If you have just had lunch, this is not going to be the most fun, easy thing for you to do. It's best practiced on an empty stomach, and it's best practiced when you can take in full breaths and ease through it. Okay, so this is really the heat of our practice, is where we're doing that deeper inner cleansing. That is part of Asteya. We need to cleanse out what may be stuck. We need to make pure the body as much as we can. The pure state gives us a clearer vision, a clearer look into the world. All right, one more time together. And you can stand up and shake for a moment, and then let's come back to doing this together. Deep breath in, relaxing the belly. Exhale, pushing all the breath out. Hollowing the belly, pulling it back. Uddiyana Bandha. Get that lock. Relax. And let's come down to, actually, let's come to standing. I want to come into some side movement poses. So let's come to standing. We're getting a few little side movement poses. So besides all of our yamas, the niyamas start with Saucha. From Saucha, we have two things that will really inform like our standing poses, but our lives in general. So from cleansing, from purification, we come into the mood of Santosha, which is contentment. It's being happy with what is. So even though there's so much changing going on and so much upheaval in our own lives and in the world, we still find peace in what is. That's Santosha. And then Tapas. Tapas is the energy and the drive we have towards our own health. And this is showing up with discipline. This is not just doing things halfway here. This is about really committing and really being present for what we need to do in our lives and our practices, and then showing up as a servant of the earth to also do what's right and what's good as a citizen of the earth. So tapas, santosha, very important as we build upon these yamas and niyamas to feel our interconnectedness with all things. All right, so let's come into standing pose, mountain. And in mountain, I'd love to see you feel where your feet are in relationship to your pelvis and hip bones. So find that alignment. And then draw your shoulders back a couple times. It feels good. Feel where your head is in relationship to the top of your spine. And really be aware that just like the tailbone is an extension of your spinal column, the head is an extension of your cervical spine. So feel how everything lines up. We stand without propping, which is like kind of no stiffness and no tension. But we also stand without that slouching and sort of collapsing. So you want to feel somewhere in between those two extremes. There's an ease in standing strong and feeling that you're on the earth and part of it. Again, let's inhale. Let's take the arms overhead all the way up. Clasp the hands overhead, this time palms face one another. Index fingers point to the sky. Let's get a little mini balancing pose here as we side bend. Inhale, stretch up tall. Get a long reach from your feet to your fingers. Exhale. Let's start by arching to the left. Opening the side body, pushing out through the hips. Feel your feet on the floor. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, go to the other side, to the right. Stretching and lengthening. So you're going towards the side wall. Your trunk is framed forward. You feel the back and the front body working together. Inhale, come center. Let's do it again. Exhale, arc to the left. And now as you arc to the left, lean into your right foot and see if you can let your left foot float up. Keep the breath easy and simple. With your next breath, inhale, stand tall, plant both feet. Exhale, arc right. Feeling that reach, feet to fingers, place a little more weight in your left foot. Let your right foot float up. Feel the extension of your spine from the outer left ankle all the way across side body as you arc. Inhale to center, stand tall. Exhale, release your arms, and let's bring our hands back into Purna Mudra. Take a moment to inhale and exhale here. And then let's jump or step our legs wide and take the arms out. So palms face over our feet, fingertips reaching, shoulders relaxed. We'll turn our right toes out. So the right toes point at 3 o'clock. Left toes are at about 12 or 1. Good. Starting with a warrior. So Virabhadrasana 2. Now look to your right knee as you bend. Make sure that bend is over your ankle and towards your first and second toe. Keep your trunk active and center. You want to go a little deeper. Spin your left heel out, going a little wider. Looking down your right fingertips. Take a nice long breath in from your feet to your crown. Good. Take another big breath. Fill up your heart and spread the energy through your fingers. Take the reverse warrior, left hand just resting. Right arm up to the sky. Again, another bend, but more towards the front of the body, picking up that right hip. If you want, you can take that left arm behind your back and look towards your left heel. Inhale, come back through warrior 2. Exhale, you can side angle from here, or if you'd like instead, take triangle pose. So yogi's choice. You want to get the legs to straighten, try triangle. If you're working more on opening the inner groin, getting the side ribs to open, take your side angle. 2 more breaths wherever you've chosen. Inhale, come all the way back up, straighten your legs to starting position. Exhale, release your arms, turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. So do opposite side. Inhale, arms up, arms an extension of your heart. Bend onto your left knee. Warrior 2. So again, you may want to go a little wider. Feel your strength in your legs. Check that left toe and knee. Make sure everything's there aligned. And then as you breathe and open here, you're using your breath to engage from your navel center, radiating from your periphery to your limbs. Reverse warrior. Right hand to right thigh. Left arm reaches up and overhead. If you'd like, you can take that right arm behind to rock. And then looking down, a strong back leg. Inhale, come back up through warrior two. Exhale, take your side angle pose or triangle, yogi's choice. So feeling how each of these poses has its own value. Strength to the inner legs and thighs on side angle. Triangle, opening for the side body and hips. Taking your breath exactly where you need it the most. You're like a huge starfish or a huge star shining out. Take your next breath in. Come up and out on your inhale. Exhale, release your arms. Shift your legs so the toes point forward. Grab your hips. Actually, let's do this today. Let's take our hands and clasp them behind our back. I think this will feel really nice for kind of a closing standing pose. So clasp your hands like you would clasp a lover's hand. Bring the heels of your hands together and then pull the arms back and let them lift up behind you. Okay? Guiding with your heart. So first, connect to the feet. Inhale all the way up through the spine, opening the chest. Exhale, let's come forward. Take the arms with us as we fold. Prasarita Padottanasana with the shoulder stretch. Few long, slow breaths. Massaging those shoulders. Peeling them back. Pulling the belly in. Feeling the weight of the floor on our feet. Strong legs, strong lift through the kneecaps. When the arms feel ready, bring them back towards your tailbone. Loosen your elbows. Spill the arms back down to the earth. Press the fingers into the floor, hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Pause here. Grab your hips. See if you can hold that half lift through your spine. Broaden your chest and upper back. With your feet and legs strong, inhale through a back body. Inhale all the way up to standing with a strong spine. Exhale, release the hands. Step the feet back together in mountain pose and pause. Feel the body's energy head to toe. Right to left. Front to back. Inner to outer. Floor to ceiling. And then we'll end with a few little taps to continue with Saucha, Santosha, Saucha purity, Santosha peacefulness, and Tapas, discipline to show up to our health. So you're going to take your hands to your right hand to your right side ribs. You're going to find where your ribs end and count up 3 ribs. It's about between your 3rd and 4th rib is your main liver point, and you're going to use your middle 3 fingers to give it a little tap, thanking your liver and encouraging it to release gently, saying any accumulated toxins can easily move out of the liver. Releasing any stagnant energy from the liver gallbladder line. Good. And let's come down to sitting. Beautiful, everyone. All right, so we have another point, and I'm going to have you do this from laying down in the next few moments. Actually, no, let's stay here, and then we'll do the last 2 laying down. I'd like to do a little legs up the chair pose or legs up the wall to close today. But before we do, let's get these stomach 16 points. So find where your nipple would be, and then go straight up about 4 fingers, 4 to 5 finger lengths. Okay, I'm gonna go right at the top of your chest. You're looking for, again, it's very similar to the L. So your L1's more up here, right? These guys, your stomach 16 are a little further out. Okay, more on the nipple line. Okay, so you're gonna find your stomach 16, both sides of the upper chest. It's kind of above the center of your breastbone in the indentation up here between your upper ribs, like your third or fourth ribs up here. Again, breathe deeply. Thank yourself for having the courage to face today. Class is always, beauty of going to a class is it's always unknown. You never know what you're gonna get. And that's sort of how life is, right? We have to show up for life and just go on the journey and show up being in our own integrity, honoring what arises. So thank yourself for that courage to show up and face the unknown. And also take a moment to appreciate how your body has protected you, and thank your body for protecting you. And really breathe into your heart muscle, the actual heart that pumps the blood through your whole body. Breathe right there into your heart. And thank your heart and all the emotions and all the energies that your heart carries you with you and through this life. Your heart is a good guidepost, a really beautiful compass to where you feel aligned, what makes you feel joyful and good. We bow to the heart's truth. Okay. So let's lay back and find a nice place, either at our chair, and I'll show you how I have myself set up here with my chair. So here's my chair, and so what I'll do is I'll bring my bottom onto my little cushion here. And as I bring my bottom onto my cushion, I'm going to swing my legs up the edge of my chair. Okay, here. And then I can grab my other cushion if I need a little something to catch my head. I also have an eye pillow too that could come in handy. So I'm going to kind of bring in my body close. My legs can drape over my chair, and I can just rest here. If you're lucky to have a wall nearby, you can take your legs right up the wall as well. Okay. What I really want you to do is just get to a place where you can really let go and relax. So I'm just going to get up for a second. You guys keep getting situated. And what I want to do as you lay in is give you these last few Yamas and Niyamas. All right, good. Everybody seems pretty situated. Quickly, good. So, Svadhaya. This is the reflecting on oneself, without judgment, without criticism. Self-study, but also the study of esoteric teachings and traditions. Things that help to expand our mind, open our perspective, and inspire and enlighten us. So when we self-study, especially in these moments where we get quiet and we rest, I want you to feel yourself open to a witnessing consciousness. The witnessing consciousness is just being with whatever's here now. And you may feel as you're here that insight emerges. What is working right now in my life? May I focus on that? And maybe as we discover what's working, we also acknowledge what hasn't been, so that we can make little tweaks in this inner landscape of our lives and of ourselves, so that these reflections translate to new behaviors and new patterns and new actions in our lives. So I'm going to be quiet now as I let you rest. I'm going to share you one little song as you are here at ease and resting in peace.
So triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surrounds us, and let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. Blessed always, blessed always, for the arms of God surrounds us, and let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen. And let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say Amen.
So if you haven't yet done so, take your hands and rest them just under your rib cage. This area here around spleen 16, it is a place in which we can focus on letting go of any bits of tension that are still lodged, focusing on that rise and expansion laterally of the rib cage as we breathe, clearing out with each exhalation, blowing out anything that is ready to be released. Ishvarapranidhana. It's the last of the 10 principles of yoga. And it reminds us to give in to the flow of life, to trust and have faith in the good that you are, and the ultimate good that is in the world. It's to see that Spirit, the great Spirit, dwells here with you, in you, and that it dwells in the space, within the elements, within the ethers, within the air you breathe. It lives in all things and moves through all things with you. Feeling alive with the Spirit within, all these blessings that are surrounding us. Deepen your breathing and gently start to roll over when ready onto your right side. Take as much time as you need to transition. Thank yourself for this time you've set aside for your practice today. We honor that sometimes these simple, just slowed down movements are just as potent and as powerful as something more vigorous. And we honor the time that we were able to receive today and all that we were able to release. And I welcome all the new students that have come today. And those of you who have been with me for years. Let's bring our palms together at our heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be happy and free. May all beings everywhere know the light of their true nature and live from it. May we all be free. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.